Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ridge Meadow Railfanning. I appreciate you stopping by. It's a cold, snowy day out today. Got a little fire going over there you can see in the background. I thought today I would show you some of the locomotives that I've collected over the years here. These are all HO scale. That's my scale of choice. That's what I had when I was a kid. Growing up, my dad used to, or built a small HO scale layout for me when I was a boy, and it stuck with me. So over the years, these are some of the favorites that I've picked out and collected on my own. I do have a lot of my old locomotives from when I was a kid still, mostly Tyco. That was the thing then. I will do a video on those at some point here down the road. But today I wanted to show you some of the stuff that I've picked out over the years. So there's nothing specific here as far as brand. I don't really necessarily have a preference. You can see I've got various ones. I got some Bachmann. I've got an old Concord there. Walthers in the background. Athearn. I've always enjoyed the Athearn Blue Box. And I know with all the modern fancy stuff that they have out there with the sounds and all that, it's all well and good, but I grew up with none of that, and that sticks with me, and that makes me think of that time. So I don't really care so much about that, and each their own. If you like that, that's great. Super cool stuff. I'm not taking anything away from it, but I don't prefer it necessarily myself. So we'll jump into it, and I'll show you a close-up of each of these. Basically, in my collecting, it's pretty much a locomotive that I like, or a road name that I like or are familiar with, that I grew up with. You see Chessie and Conrail there in the view. When I was a boy, I remember seeing Chessie system quite a bit in the area, switching some local businesses and whatnot. And of course, down the road, Conrail came in, and then Norfolk Southern and CSX and that. And I've got one of each of those as well. But here we go. I'll jump in and I'll show you guys a closer look at each one of these. Okay guys, I'll start out with these two Chessie units here. I don't have original packaging with those. When I bought those, I just had generic boxes. So I have those out just on a little piece of track there for you to see. First one is an Athearn U28B dummy. This one is not a powered locomotive. So kind of cool to put that with any kind of a train that's built or whatever, lash up. You can see it did a little bit of detailing on it. Some rust. Not a whole lot. I see some out there that are like super heavily weathered and that, but did a little bit. But Athearn U28B dummy. And then here, I've got another Athearn unit. This one is a powered GP40 unit. Blue Box era, which is my favorite Athearn. I think, I don't know, I can't say that I necessarily have a favorite completely, but I really do like the Athearn Blue Box era. They're decent, strong locomotives. They've got good power, and I like the way they look. I love the way they sound. They have kind of a neat growl to them. But there you go, Chessie GP40. I will say Chessie is my favorite road name. Like I said, I remember seeing those as a boy, and I like the colors, like the scheme, and of course, you remember seeing that when you're a kid. That's pretty neat stuff. So I would say hands down, Chessie was my favorite road name, favorite paint scheme. Really like it. With that in mind, I guess I'll show you the other locomotives related to Chessie. Okay, so next up, I've got a Walthers SW1 Chessie switcher. I bought this a couple years ago on eBay. Brand new unit, never used. I've never even run it. It's been in the box the whole time. Neat little locomotive, got some nice details. The handrails are in the box to put on. It's a very small unit, but obviously switchers aren't meant to be super big. Nice detail, neat little locomotive. Keeping with the Chessie family, and I've got a Bachmann Spectrum unit here, a B&O. This is a GP30 locomotive. Pretty nice detail on this. You can see there's a little guy in the window there. I did a little weathering on this one. I don't know if you can kind of see it there. Basically around the trucks, the fuel tank. Again, I don't like to weather them too heavy. But Bachmann, I like Bachmann's locomotives. They've got some pretty nice detail. You can see, put some rust on the coupler and on the plow there. This locomotive I have run. This is a nice, smooth running locomotive. At my old home several years ago, I had a layout in progress, and this, I'd show you a picture of a little bit what I had on that, or that I did with this. A little scene that I had made. But super nice little locomotive, runs great. Love the detail. There you go, those two. All right, next up. Okay, keeping with the Chessie family here, we'll go with first an Athearn Blue Box GP35 dummy. No power on this one, so again another one that could be added reasonably to a lash up or train as you know, an extra power, you know, the illusion of an extra power unit. Very lightweight locomotive. No weight to it. I have not done anything with this one yet. A couple of rails on the front, which is how I got that one. But no detailing, no weathering yet at this point. But another Athearn Blue Box dummy locomotive. And then, as you know, down the road, you know, Chessie merged with Seaboard Systems to form, obviously, CSX, which brings us to this one. Spectrum, Bachmann Spectrum -840C. Super cool locomotive. Most of the Chessies I've collected because I like the Chessie, you know, road name, as I explained already. I like CSX because it's that's what Chessie became, basically. So I like this one because of that, and I like these -840Cs, especially this cab style here. It's not the wide cab. The wide cabs have their place, but I think these absolutely look super cool with the narrow nose on it like that. Just kind of a mean looking front there, I think. Love seeing them. Now this is a super cool locomotive. Lots of detail on this one as well, like the other Spectrum unit, the B&O from the previous set. Nice, powerful locomotive. I have run this one. You can see I've done some weathering and some painting on this one. Again, not tons, but you can see you did some rust around the wheels and trucks. Some fill in on the radiator screens and that. So there's that one. Another nice Bachmann locomotive. Okay, moving along. Next road name that I remember from when I was an older child, as things progressed, obviously Conrail moved in to the area. I mean, not obviously to some folks, I don't know, but this is when the railroads were in trouble and the government stepped in. So I remember seeing a lot of Conrail as a kid, older kid. So first up on this set, this one is a Bachmann Plus series. I don't know if they make those anymore or not even. I think this was if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, step below the Spectrum, or this was possibly the top end before that. I'm not 100%. Somebody might be able to correct me or shed light on that. Anyhow, this is an SD45, which is probably my most favorite locomotive. I like, basically for no other reason, the rear radiator hood setup. I like that shape, but you can see this is a pretty decent, you know, Conrail wasn't real flashy anyhow, but you can see decent detail on this. Maybe not quite as much as down the road with the Spectrum units, but still a good looking unit. Did a little weathering on this one. I've run it just a couple times to test it, but other than that, not much. You can see it did a little like rust on there. Again, as I said, you know, I don't like to put a whole ton on. A little bit in the radiators there. But this is what I'm talking about here. That rear radiator hood. Looking at it from the back end, I like that look, that shape. So one of my favorites, right up there with that Dash 840C that I just showed you before. So go the rest of the way around here. Neat little locomotive. And we'll go over to this one here. Now this is a Concore. I don't really know much about them. I've seen some others listed for sale, you know, like on eBay or auction sites or whatever. I believe they're older, but I could be mistaken on that too. I know this seems to be an older box here, but I don't have any idea about years or anything like that. So again, if somebody knows something about that, feel free to, you know, put it in the comments or something. So this one is an SD35. So I like this one. The Conrail road name, again, remember seeing that kind of stuff as a kid. But this is a neat looking locomotive because it's more the overall length of one of the GP series, but they've got the 6 axles tucked up underneath there. And I think that looks pretty darn cool. Speaking personally, anyhow. So not done anything with this one. This one is as is, way I got it when I purchased it. But still looks to be pretty decent. You know, Details are pretty standard, it looks like. The only thing that seems a little funky is the center weight. And it's pretty much just a piece of metal there, the tank center weight. But not much detail on that, but I still like the locomotive. Again, I just think that looks neat how they tuck the 6 axles up under a smaller locomotive like that. SD35 instead of the GP35 on that. Concord. Okay, move on to the next set. Okay, the last set to show you here is more of obviously modern day road names. Well, again, I have to say obviously, but maybe not obvious to some folks that aren't in the area or whatever. However, in this area, these are 2 road names that I see quite frequently. So the Wheeling and Lake Erie. This is a smaller railroad in the area. Like the paint scheme, that's pretty much why I got this one. As far as seeing them, regularly, and I like that. I like that look. It's kind of similar to the old, Denver and Rio Grande style with the. I think it's called the Speed lettering. I think. I can be corrected on that as well. This is an SD40-2 Bachmann, another Bachmann product. More of a, I guess, newer or more modern version or production, I should say. That's probably the best way to put it. So, nice detail on it. I think this is pretty much just, their normal stuff. But they really, a lot of the stuff that you see, the stickers and the quality and the detail on it were step-ups in the previous years. But I think this is pretty much how they do most of them now. But I've not run this. This is honestly the first time I've had this out of the packaging. So I could show you guys on the video here. But so that's why I got this one. Nothing, SD40-2s are fairly common to see. If you look around switching yards or anything like that, if you do that kind of stuff or whatever. Not so much road units anymore, but you can see them from time to time. Anyhow. Bought this one for the road name and the appearance of the paint scheme and, seeing them around. Last here, got a Norfolk Southern SW1500 power unit from, the Athearn Blue Box area you can see in the background there. I see SW1500s almost every day from where I work. Or at my work, they use those for switching applications there. I think they're neat looking locomotives, nice clean looking. One of my favorites. Not so much the road name. I mean, that's a small part of it because I see those in the area constantly. The Norfolk, but I like these little SW1500s. Super cool looking. Classic Athearn. Nice, powerful. I've only, I've not actually run it on a layout or anything, but again, just kind of testing it and running it to see, how it did. Does just fine. Like I say, classic Athearn Blue Box. Nice looking little switcher. So there you go, last set there. So there's going to be more videos to come on this. Like I say, I will show you some of the childhood locomotives that I had. That'll be another video. And then I've got, I think I mentioned in the beginning, Tyco was pretty much what I had when I was a kid. That's what was seemed to be available then, or reasonable priced. I don't know what it was. That's what my father chose. I think that was pretty much the big thing. They had their building kits and everything like that. I have a lot of those building kits that I've acquired over the years as well. Some of them I've built already, and some of them need to be built. But that'll be another video. I'll cover some of those and some other buildings that I caught at a recent train show. I'll go over those too. So yeah, more to come, guys. We'll keep you going on that stuff. Okay, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed a look at these locomotives. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite gauge for model railroading. Like I said, HO is what I grew up with. That's what I like. I think it's a pretty cool size. Let me know what your favorite road name is, or why you collected certain locomotives. Let me know in the comments.